This question is for the people that are running for city council and the commissioners. I find this totally bizarre. Let's talk about passing ordinances. They are passing ordinances, I don't know if you guys know this, that they know are illegal, and literally says in the ordinance, this stands until somebody challenges it.
So they're admitting it's unconstitutional. They're just hoping nobody ever challenges it. Disgusting.
They have an ordinance that says you cannot record public officials in a public place. Is it 6 years now? And I've got, ask me how I know. I have 20 trespass tickets, okay? For filming a public official in a building. That's pretty messed up. And I sued him before, and we're going to sue him again. So do you agree that that's pretty messed up, that you make an ordinance that you know is illegal, that you put the clause in there? Also, one more part to that question. Ordinances are also supposed to have the clause for redress. Punta Gorda doesn't have that.
They sure do not. If you get cited, you will go to code enforcement court. It is a sham.
Ordinances are also supposed to have free speech in it also. They are abusing these ordinances, and they are killing free speech, free press, and redress. That is totally wrong, and I can't wait for your answer.
Thank you, Andy. So I think, full transparency, in 19 minutes we're stopping questions up here, just so you're aware of this. So you can see it's going to be tight. We're going to try to keep it as concise as possible.
Okay, I'm going to try to make mine quick then. Okay, this is for the sheriff, guy running for the sheriff, Mr. Ryan. Okay, as you know, again, I'm an activist, okay? I'm an independent reporter for 10 years, okay? Just like the sheriff, the government holds us accountable, I hold the government accountable. The police are the government. So, sadly, I think I sent it to you. You already know about this. Some people don't know about this. He knows about this. I made a records request. I've been doing this for 10 years. I said, how many cases have you sent to the state attorney's office for a local independent reporter? 75. For just reporting on corruption here in Charlotte County and Punta Gorda. 75 cases. I then asked the question, he saw this one. I said, how many times have you asked for a ducis tecum? How many people knows what a ducis tecum is? That's a search warrant. That's a search warrant for your Facebook, your Gmail, your YouTube. How many, Ryan? 30 in 10 years just for holding the government accountable. That is some messed up stuff. And now I just asked the question to the Charlotte County Sheriff again. I said, did you do this to any of the other reporters at the newspaper and the TV? They haven't responded, Ryan. Are you going to do what the sheriff's doing?
No, I'll respond to it. But
If you guys, I'm going to try to filter this. Let me go to Hal and Dave Kesselring first, and then I'm going to go to Punta Gorda City Council members and Ryan, because those are obvious to me immediately. And then I'll go back to the other folks that I didn't mention and see if they want to put input in.
My answer is going to be very simple. So first of all, I think we need to, instead of creating new ordinances, go in and get rid of a lot of the ordinances we have. We need to look at everything. So that's the first thing. The second thing, we have to follow the Constitution.
You're supposed
I'm
to.
not a lawyer, so,
right.
But we have to follow the Constitution, even at the local level, especially at the local level.
Correct.
So yes, no, we shouldn't be passing ordinances
That are unconstitutional. That's correct.
for sure.
Thank you.
Mr. Kesselring.
Well, I know firsthand because I was trespassed. When
Yep.
we first made this ordinance, the county attorney and the county administrator got together and made this. There was no vote by the people. The commissioners have given them blanket authority to make any kind of facility rule they want.
Yep.
No pamphleteering is another one. Think about that. Remember common sense in the revolution? Okay, so this is totally illegal. I did do my appeal, and I argued the Constitution, the state Constitution, state ordinances, the opinion of the state attorney, case law, and they said, nope, none of that matters in our administrative court. You broke the rule. And they even said I was a perfect gentleman. I brought up the deputy for questioning, and he checked off a bunch of things that weren't even true, and I asked him each one, did I do that, did I do that? And he said, no, none of those. And he said, why? And he said, for consistency. Total false report. But see, this is all fake. This is an administrative court. It's fake kangaroo court.
Yep.
It's not real court. The law is unconstitutional, it's illegal. Even Smith versus City of Cummings is from our own appeals.
Lady Justice.
Coming!
Apparently,
She loves coming.
She loves coming.
Coming, man. Smith v. Coming.
yeah.
Coming, Georgia. Case law. It's all about freedom. It's all about freedom.
Where it specifically says that you have the right to film public officials in public buildings, period. I know they argue time, place, and manner, but there has to be one, and there's none. So this is, and my opponent says he won't follow the law unless you go sue him or he has a court order. Okay? So that's what's going on with the trespass dog.
Thank you.
The code should not be unconstitutional or illegal. That's my point.
Thanks, Dave. Janine.
Okay, so I don't know about yours specifically, but I do know that the city of Punta Gorda does try to pass some pretty petty things. Like one of them is, that was most recent in the last few weeks, they were trying to ticket people for putting or chaining their bikes to a sign or chaining their bikes to a tree. And I guess that's really bothersome for people, but when I drive through the town, I see cute little bikes with, they put them in the garden and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, at what point do you say that's in violation?
But the tree in the park across the street from one city council member is, bothering her enough that we're going to start writing tickets. So what they were going to do is write a ticket, and once they leave the ticket on the bike, if it's not removed within, I don't know, they gave it like 40-some 8 hours, they were going to put the police on it. Now, to me, I asked, well, what are the police going to do? They're going to have some place to put these bikes now in the back of their car. They're going to all have bike racks. Where are they going to take the bike? They're going to gather them all and take them to the police station. They don't have any room there. I mean, I just don't think they think about the repercussions of the things that they make up. And sometimes it's just crazy stuff that really, truly, I don't want the police as a taxpayer going after a bike that's chained on a fence or wherever it is. It just, to me, is just petty.
Thank you, Janine. Greg.
Yes, in 1985, I swore to uphold and defend the Constitution with everything, including my life.
Amen.
That still stands.
Yes, I'm for the Constitution. But I wanted to comment on ordinances. I don't know if this is really answering your question, but I was at Penny's today and I spoke to the owners and they said, well, we've been trying to put up a sign. You found this out too. The latest is that they need an engineering certificate to put up a banner. This is ridiculous. This does not encourage small business. They also take land that is designated commercial and they turn it into residential, and that does not encourage small business. Yet they say they want to encourage small business. So we have to make it easier for small business. We want to support small business. We don't want to be petty about the length of the grass at the Celtic Ray. And yet others can have grass and concrete lying around and it's not a problem. So let's just, have an even hand and reasonable, common sense ordinances and legislation. So.
Thank you, Janice. Brian.
Yeah, I agree. I think we spent a lot of petty time going through and picking and choosing what we want to do based on individuals, and it's not a consistent layout of what we're doing, and each person decides what they want to give a violation for. And I experienced this with squatting and different things, and code enforcement not enforcing things. Well, we don't really enforce that, but yet you'll enforce this other thing. Makes zero sense. I will have to tell you, as a it's not working very well. Does this work better? Yeah.
Yes.
My opponent will will never come out and say he's a constitutional sheriff. I will be 100% a constitutional sheriff. I believe in the Constitution, so due process. Anything that's constitutional, that's what it's there for. Change. If someone's going to change, that's where we need to follow it and do that. And we have too many people, I think, involved in too many of these positions throughout our community. And I've been in this community a while, in the commissioners, in the supervisor elections, in the councils in Punta Gorda, that have been there too long, and it's just getting just complacency is my thing. There's good things about everybody. Let's put it that way. I agree 100%. But it's time there's complacency too, and then it sometimes revolts into favoritism, and it's just lack of laziness. I'm not saying that about everybody, but we need to really take a hard look. When they're saying that they're wanting to challenge, that we're challenging them for these positions, I would expect to have some competition. That's what we're made of. That's what the Constitution wants to do. But yet we're told we're not experienced. We're we're brainless douchebags, we're this, that, and some of these other characters out there.
Insurrectionists.
Be right. So let's, you know, and here we are, all Republicans, and, you know, this is where we come together and this kind of stuff, but again, you know, going off a tangent, but I think it's time to look at the candidates, look at where we're at as a community, what the direction we want to go in. Is there going to be any kind of change in the next 4 years with who we currently have in there? Is it going to be better or worse or stay the same? And just make your decision.